Over the last month or two, there are some names that have been associated with the 2026 Ballon d'Or: Kylian Mbappé, Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, Declan Rice, Viní Jr, Michael Olise, Pedri, Vitinha. The battle has mainly been between these guys, and justifiably so too. But with everything that has happened in the world of football over the last couple of days, that list has been seriously shaken up. But obviously not for the last time this season. Well, some names have recently fallen down the pecking order, while some other guys just recently entered. It is those guys who belong in the latter category that we're here to talk about today. These are 7 players who just entered into the Ballon d'Or race.
Football's more than a game. It's passion, pride, glory. This World Cup season, Goal90 brings you our biggest offer yet. Buy 3 jerseys and get 1 free. That's 4 jerseys for the price of 3. And yes, free worldwide shipping. This is a limited time World Cup special only until April the 30th. So move fast. Pick your jerseys. Wear your passion. Own the moment before they're gone. Visit Goal90 shop. Link in the description.
Top of the list has to be Ousmane Dembele. The current holder of the cherished prize didn't have the best start to the season, no thanks to injuries, and it was said that he would perhaps not be able to successfully defend his golden ball. But just like we saw last year, he has turned up the heat in the second half of the season and has started to tear things up once again. Dembele scored just 4 goals across all competitions in the first half of the season and was so far away from being considered one of the best players in the world this season. But he has tripled his tally since the turn of the year, with 3 of those 12 goals coming in the knockout stages of the Champions League. The former Barcelona man seems to have mastered the art of picking his moments, and he has continued to do that this season. With PSG now in the semi-finals of the Champions League, he is certainly now one of the front runners for the big prize, especially now that he has the reputation of being the reigning winner. But of course, he is not the only PSG player who just entered the Ballon d'Or race. In fact, there are a couple more. Can you guess who they are? Take a shot in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, let's get back to the video. Manuel Neuer also just entered into the Ballon d'Or race. Of course, the veteran is not a stranger to Ballon d'Or nominations, having even finished in 3rd place back in 2014. But one would have thought that now past his prime, he would stop getting into those conversations. But with these performances he's putting up, it's extremely difficult to ignore him. The 40-year-old Bayern skipper returned from injury to put up an extraordinary performance in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final game against Real Madrid, making 9 saves and winning the Man of the Match award. Yes, the error which led to the opening goal early in the second leg didn't cover him in glory, but he still made 2 huge saves in that game and helped Bayern advance. He might not be at the top of the Ballon d'Or list right now, but another top performance against PSG in the semis could turn him into a proper contender for the award. And just imagine, he finally decides to change his mind and return to the Germany national team and head to the World Cup this summer. That could establish him as one of the front runners for the award. And his Bayern teammate Luis Diaz certainly also just entered the Ballon d'Or race. His numbers have been good since his move to Bayern Munich at the beginning of the season, but Harry Kane and Michael Olise had always taken all the plaudits. However, his massive goals in the 2 legs against Real Madrid have forced everyone to take notice of him. 2 well-timed goals in the quarter-finals of the Champions League against European giants. Real Madrid can do real wonders for your CV, and it has certainly helped Luis Diaz climb up a few rungs on the 2026 Ballon d'Or ladder. And remember the news that this year's award will now be taking big game performances into consideration. Those 2 goals against Real Madrid are really as big as it gets, aren't they? Now, remember we said that there are a couple more PSG players on this list. One of them is Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Just like Dembele, Kvara had a slow start to the season. The Georgian scored just 3 goals in the league phase of the Champions League, so nobody was really putting him in the Ballon d'Or conversations. But the knockout rounds have been a completely different story. He has scored 5 goals in the knockout phase and now looks absolutely unstoppable each time he steps on the pitch. In fact, he has been involved in at least 1 goal in every Champions League game since the second leg of the playoff game against AS Monaco. With how clutch and efficient he has become in this competition, it's difficult to overlook him for the Ballon d'Or. But one thing that will be working against him is the fact that he won't be at the World Cup this summer, as Georgia failed to qualify for the tournament this year. But for his captain Marquinhos, the World Cup is certain as he already has a confirmed place in Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil squad. The centre-back has surely also entered into the race for the Ballon d'Or, following his strong performances against Liverpool in the quarter-finals, where he helped his team keep clean sheets in both games. If Marquinhos leads PSG to another Champions League title and goes as far as the semi-final of the World Cup with Brazil, possibly captaining both sides, you could see him finishing in the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or, and what an achievement that would be for him. It would also be a colossal achievement for David Raya. Not many are considering him right now, but we honestly think that he has entered into the Ballon d'Or race and could actually even make a solid push for it. The Arsenal goalie was incredible in the quarter-finals against Sporting. He was named man of the match in the first leg and kept clean sheets in both games. Right now, he is the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets in the Champions League as well as the Premier League this season. He is certainly one of the reasons Arsenal has come this far in this campaign, and you could argue that he has been the best goalkeeper in the world this season. Just imagine if Arsenal win the Premier League and Raya wins the Premier League Golden Glove and finishes with the most clean sheets in the Champions League. He could certainly be in the Ballon d'Or top 10. And what's more is that these amazing performances with Arsenal could convince De La Fuente to make him the #1 goalkeeper ahead of the World Cup. And of course, you'll always fancy Spain to go far at the tournament. So when you put it all together, Raya is one guy who could make a quiet but very strong push for the 2026 Ballon d'Or in the coming months. Finally, Julian Alvarez could make a very strong push for the big prize. This season he has saved the best version of himself for the Champions League, and that could really do the trick. I mean, he has scored more goals in 13 Champions League games than he has scored in 29 La Liga games this season. He is the second highest goalscorer of all the players left in the Champions League right now, and he has been Atleti's best player at the tournament. He has shown up in big games, having been involved in 7 goals in the Champions League knockout round so far. Right now, we'll say he's a top 5 candidate for the award. If he can manage to inspire Atleti to their first ever Champions League title, it would be extremely difficult to make a case against him. And don't forget that he plays for Argentina. The reigning champions are one of the favourites to go all the way in North America this summer, and you can be certain that Alvarez will be leading the line for them, and he will surely bag some big goals at the tournament. Now, just imagine if the 26-year-old striker wins the Copa del Rey and Champions League with Atleti, and maybe even just reaches the semi-final of the World Cup with Argentina in the summer. At the very least, a top 3 finish would be guaranteed for him. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. Do you agree that these players have just entered the Ballon d'Or race? Are there more players you would say also just entered into contention for the biggest individual prize in world football? Get in the comments and talk to us. While you're there, also feel free to tell us who you think will ultimately win the award and why. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.